Right, well, shares of Credit Suisse, along with European bank stocks, falling sharply this morning as jitters.
Oh, yeah. Credit Suisse stocks have dropped to a new low. Worries are spreading throughout the banking sector as well. I believe, what is it, Credit Suisse's largest financier, the Saudi government, too?
From the SVB collapse spread. Yahoo Finance's Inez Ferrer is here at the Wi-Fi Interactive with a breakdown for us. Hey, Inez.
Hey, Rochelle, and I just want to show you what's happening with the sectors on the S&P 500 because, as you mentioned, financials really taking a hit today. And let's take a look at our banks chart so you can see a lot of these stocks that are underwater. You've got JP Morgan Chase, Morgan Stanley that's underwater. But we want to point out Credit Suisse, as you have been mentioning, down 18% right now. And over the last 8 sessions, it has been down. I'm going to pull up a 7-day chart here. Now, investors had been concerned about Credit Suisse for some time. Also, they saw problems when it comes to the credit default swap. Those prices were spiking higher. So you heard rumblings over the last couple of days that the bank may be in trouble because that is a type of insurance on default. So when those prices go up, you know that there's trouble. So we saw today also the stock going lower. This is also after the Saudi National Bank said that it won't give the bank any more assistance. This is its top shareholder, by the way, saying no more funds for you. So this is creating problems with the entire banking sector right now. We're seeing pressure on banks overall. I also want to point out what's happening with the regional banks because we saw what happened with SVB, the collapse of SVB, and we saw the impact that it had on the regional banks over the last couple of sessions. And I want to point out one in particular, which is First Republic. We've been watching this bank like a hawk over the last several sessions. On Monday, the stock was down a record 62%. Then yesterday, it rebounded more than 30%. It closed higher, and now it's down. This is after S&P downgraded the bank, its credit rating on the bank. So you're seeing that's part of the reason why you're seeing pressure on First Republic. So look, very different situations when you talk about Credit Suisse, when you talk about...
It's like some domino shit, dude. The dominoes are falling.
SVB, very different banks. Credit Suisse, much larger than SVB, different dynamics, different situations, different set of issues. But nonetheless, this is creating concern within the banking industry. Rochelle?
Certainly terrible timing, to say the least. We know that...
Fourth once-in-a-lifetime crash. Listen, it's as things keep getting worse and worse, the time period between like once-in-a-lifetime crashes gets shorter and shorter. You know what I mean? Not that it's going to happen for sure, but of course, like, we're going to keep saying once-in-a-lifetime crash until it's happening like weekly.
Billionaire Ray Dalio, though, has some thoughts on what the collapse of
You
SVB...
in the stock market? I have a like a, what is it, a SEP IRA or whatever, or a Roth IRA, whatever, like the equivalent of a self-employed 401k. I have that. That's as much as I'm in the stock market.
He means for the world financial system. What did he say?
Yeah, that's right. He basically said that the SVB collapse shows that the cracks are widening in the global finance industry as a whole. He also said that the collapse of the bank will be followed by more problems before the contraction phase of the cycle runs its course. He wrote this in an open letter.
So you are in the stock market, lol. Yeah, I mean, that's it. That's like, that's my level of involvement in the stock market. I don't even know what it's fucking called, but yeah. Yes, I am a capital owner, dude. It is my primary motive of wealth, of generating wealth. Yeah. As I have said time and time again, you should definitely have like a 401k or whatever the fuck. Obviously, in our current system, the moment that your productivity as a wage laborer is gone does not mean you should fucking kill yourself. Okay? Yes. You should have some level of, not a gotcha moment, brother, just clarifying. Yeah. All my strongs are wrapped up in Hasan's life choices. Yeah. How's the factory coming? You build a new one yet? Dude, all of it. Raider fit dress. I'm not going to do that. I have no capital. That's my name is Weeby and not Weeby with a W. And that's only like because you have to, because Social Security may not exist at a point like they think Social Security is adequate. Well, Social Security is already inadequate. You should have one regardless. I mean, yes, you should definitely have a retirement fund. This is something that I've been very, very open about advocating for from the jump. Bro, sometimes chatters are just bitch-ass motherfuckers and you should treat them as such. The unfortunate reality is that whenever I treat a chatter like the bitch-ass motherfucker that they are, there's like 10 chatters who literally turn around and go, well, first of all, you are being really uncharitable to this guy. You know what I mean? We have a community here. Hasan could set up an event and we could meet. Wait, what? What the fuck? Anyway, I try to be as charitable as possible until I can't. You know what I mean? That's what I try to do. Americans have to save up their dollars in a 401k or some type of retirement account, or they will 100% be poor or living close to the poverty line by the time retirement comes. Yes, exactly. Social Security isn't going broke. It will always have new money coming in because it comes right out of the workers' paychecks. Yes, you are technically paying into your future Social Security. However, that doesn't mean that the minuscule amount that you're going to get from your Social Security are going to be fucking living wages, especially as it seems like the federal government is not anywhere near interested in like providing a comfortable existence to those who have paid into the Social Security. So, yeah. While Social Security will be there, whether it will be a living wage or not, well, that much is that leaves much to be considered. I think I'll just let you make that assertion on your own. But that's why I always advocate for having like some level of like a nest egg. All right, let's continue.
Also, a similar tone was struck by BlackRock's CEO, Larry Fink, basically saying that some banks may have to pull back lending in order to shore up their balance sheets, also saying that you're going to see stricter capital standards following SVB's collapse as well, Rochelle.
Next tonight, the race for the...
Isn't Social Security not supposed to be a retirement fund? People shouldn't be expecting to retire and live off Social Security alone? No. Social Security absolutely is supposed to be a retirement fund. What the fuck? No, like conceptually, it is. That is literally what it is. The unfortunate reality is that what it's supposed to be and what it actually is are two entirely different things. That is the literal point of Social Security, though. That's it. Like, it was created for that reason. It was created so that there was a retirement fund. Like, that's literally the entire point, actually. And then your pensions back in the day when, the way that things worked back in the day, your pensions were supposed to be additional help on top of the Social Security, but pensions do not exist any longer. Pensions also had like their own issues or their own complications as well, like when companies go under, shit like that, obviously. But for that reason, there was a substitute created that basically made sure that every single American, regardless of their class position, regardless of how little money or how much money they make, could buy into the stock market so they could feel like they have a vested interest. This is why the stock market is, despite the stock market being owned by the top 10% of wealth, okay, almost entirely, the top 10% of wealth in the United States of America own 90% of the stock market, okay? The remaining 90% of the country, okay, own only 10% of the stock market, but that 10% makes them feel like they have a dog in the fight. But of course, as you know, the way it works in the United States of America is that our gains are privatized at the tippy top. The wealth accumulation makes it work that way. But the losses are socialized. So if the stock market is doing well, that doesn't mean you're necessarily doing well alongside it. But when the stock market is doing poorly, well, you bet your fucking ass you're going to feel it. Did you see the guy who robbed a bank in Utah for $1 and asked to go to federal prison at some point? Going to the clank is a better retirement than a busted Social Security system. Lamau, help us. Papela, yeah, it's not. Quick point, pensions definitely exist still. It's still a benefit for government employees and city employees often get. Like my bro has a pension in New York City. That's true. I forgot to mention that. Pensions do in some ways exist for federal workers, government workers, that sort of thing. Oh, Another way that pensions exist is for unions. Good union jobs will fight very hard to ensure that there are pensions or pension programs. How could I have forgotten? Of course. But because government employees, or at least unions for the most part, unions only represent 10% of the entire labor force, unfortunately, which also literally includes government unions as well. Only 10% of the American labor force is unionized, which literally includes government labor unions as well. So remember that. That's precisely why I say, not exactly all that significant. I didn't even think about it. It's an afterthought for me. Take it for someone who's younger but disabled. Social Security, SSDI benefits is not even close to being enough to live on. We got an 8% COLA increase this year, but it was only about $140 increase for me. I mean, what do you mean? Look at that. There you go. Wow, you're caking in it, dude. You're fucking caked up. Yeah, if you want to understand truly that capitalism is a failure of a fucking system, look no further than people who are no longer productive, okay? People who are not seen as productive laborers. The disabled and also old people, okay? The moment that you are no longer a productive laborer or have the capacity to be a productive laborer is the moment that the government will literally try to get you to quietly die in a corner. That's it. Fucking crazy. A lot of disabled people like me had to do sex work because SSI is not enough money.